To our northern viewers. Now, northern, because as you know, up there in the north now, we have the gas television, and hopefully they'll... they'll be watching us in outlandish places like Scarborough and places like that. So, to the north, innit, love? To the north, that's Eddie Waring. Eddie Waring, the thinking man's womble. People in the north, they got big hearts as well. And they... Grand Northern sports gaffer who played Grand Northern sports. Do you know they used to have cockfighting in Cleckudder's facts? Yes, but they couldn't get the boxing gloves to fit the hens. And in parts of Preston, Barbauld and Pontefract, how's that for a tin of peas? They still have grandad baiting. Ooh, that's a vicious thing. They get a little old cock, they stick a rabbit down the front of his trousers and a ferret down the back and wait for his eyes to cross. They're gradely folk in the north. When I first told my dad, I told my dad I was going to the show business, he looked at me and said, "Nay, lad, hey, lad, nay, lad, he, lad, oh, lad, ah, lad. Nay, lad, sithee, lad, no, but just lad." I was amazed. I'd never heard him speak like that to me before. Because he's Welsh, you see. And we've got great songs up north, haven't we? Romantic songs like I Left My Heart in Liverpool. Or was it I Left My Liver in Hartlepool? And tell you what, let's have that really good one. The good about our hero, L.S. Lowry. He painted Salford smoky tops and cardboard boxes from the shops and parts of Ancoats where I used to play. I'm sure he once walked down our street, 'cause he painted kids who had nought on their feet, and the clothes they wore had all seen better days. And he painted Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. He painted kids on the corner of the street that were sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them factory gates to paint his Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. Now they said his works of art were dull, no room outlet, the walls are full, but Lowry didn't care much anyway. They said he just paints cats and dogs and Matchstalk men in boots and clogs, and Lowry said that's just the way they'll stay. And he painted Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. He painted kids on the corner of the street that were sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside them factory gates to paint his Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. Now Lowry's hang upon the wall beside the greatest of them all, and even the Mona Lisa takes a bow. This tired old man with hair like snow told northern folk it's time to go. The fever came and the good Lord mopped his brow, and he left us Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. He left us kids on the corner of the street with the sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside their pearly gates to paint his Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. Then he left us Matchstalk men and Matchstalk cats and dogs. He left us kids on the corner of the street with the sparking clogs. Now he takes his brush and he waits outside their pearly gates to paint his Matchstalk men and his Matchstalk cats and dogs.